Well, good evening and welcome back to About the Valley because we've been away for 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we had our annual meeting last week
Right.
at uh, at the new Grill 122.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get him signed up into this.
Yeah, we got to get him into
Yeah,
the chamber. Yeah.
and before that, my guest had to cancel at the last minute. So,
Oh, my gosh.
in fact, that
Well,
was
usually I'm just down the road. You can call me.
oh okay. In fact, it was Jason.
Oh, it was,
He's
yeah.
rescheduled for next week
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because I guess something came up and he had to.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, I worked late that night. I could have come over. But anyway,
yeah. I didn't
ah,
think about it.
I
Yeah.
work late every night.
Jeannie puts in a lot of hours, believe me, I know, she works a ton of hours. And not a lot of them spent at the office, they're all over the place.
Yeah, I'm about the valley.
Yeah, all about the valley.
Right.
By the way, Jeannie Hebert is our guest tonight, from president of the Blackstone Valley Chamber, which has been doing all kinds of stuff in the valley. I don't think people realize how much you do over there.
We're busy. We do a lot. We mean business. We're not just a social club. We have some signature events that are a lot of fun, but we really are business centric, and we work a lot with our legislators to promote business and also education that supports training,
Mhm.
especially workforce training for the schools. We've got the Blackstone Valley Education Hub, which is part of the chamber too. And that's, we had our first recognition ceremony about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Lieutenant Governor Polito was there, and she presented 13 students with their MACWIC certification. And they're back again. The students are back. They had a little hiatus, and they're starting
oh,
their
they're back for further education.
right. They're doing their MACWIC 2 NIMS, which is a National Metal Work Certificate, and also OSHA training that they're doing. So there's a lot going on, and I just finished and submitted today, push submit, another work skills grant, because we want to get some virtual welding machinery and equipment in there.
Yeah, people don't realize the great demand for welders.
Oh, very much so, and it's a really good job.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You can make very good money doing that.
You know
So,
what welders make a ton of money?
oh yeah, they make a lot of
Underwater
money. Yeah,
welders.
yeah, well, they make very, very, very good money.
Unbelievable money.
But even regular welding, you can make
Oh,
six,
yeah.
six figures easily.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Welding.
absolutely.
It's a skill. And we found this equipment that's called virtual welders.
Yes.
And so, because I don't have the facility to build a safety booth for welding or anything like that. But, so this is air. It's not
Yep.
fire or heat, it's air. But it shows the bead. It's a real welding machine.
Yep.
It critiques you on your technique, how you hold it. It shows you on the screen what you're doing, and it will give you a grade when you finish. So
Yes.
it's amazing.
So it's better than actually having the real welding equipment,
Right.
because the computer can actually critique you
Yeah,
as you're going along,
Right.
and you can improve yourself.
exactly. It'll tell you if you're holding it the wrong angle, if you've
Yeah.
got the wrong type of grip, if you put the wrong tip on. If you've over welded, how much you've cost your company. They did that on one woman. She did a great job welding. It was perfect, but they said you just cost your company $200. You over welded. So
Yeah, you see, that's
Yeah.
great. If you have the real thing, you have to rely on the instructor figuring that out.
right.
With a computer, it's totally accurate.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, and we had our board there consisting of manufacturers, and they said they would accept that credential. And it is credentialed training, so you would be certified. You'd be a certified welder when you finished.
Most of all, the training you're giving down there is filling slots in the valley
Oh yeah,
for companies that are in dire need.
yeah, they really are. I would say that most of the students are already employed by the time they leave. And during the recognition ceremony, we did a little blurb on each of the students, and the lieutenant governor would read that, and I had a manufacturer sitting next to me. He goes, "I want to hire that kid. I want to hire that." So it was really rewarding to hear that.
If anyone met those kids, these
Yeah.
kids are really sharp.
They're very vocationally superior.
Yes.
They have a knack for this type of training, and they're very good at what they do.
And some of these kids are kids that probably wouldn't be doing well in life.
Right,
if
in
they
a
didn't have that
conventional
opportunity.
educational environment, they're not, many of them are not academically superior,
Right,
but they're vocationally superior.
yes.
So, they're right where they should be, and they finish a project so quickly. I think I told you, we had to buy 3 more smaller 3D printers to give them another project. After they'd finished the project we'd give them, because they'd finish so quickly, and we'd check it out and go, it's perfect. But then we had 10 other people in the class that were doing it. So these ones that would finish first, because there's always a cream of the crop in any class, they'd go in the design studio and design something. We'd give them a project on the 3D printer, and they'd do it. Because we've got that little, if you walk into our facility, on the desk, there's a litter of 3D printed golden retriever puppies.
Really?
Yeah, they're about this big, and they all look the same, but if you pick them up, they're all different. And that was the project, that it had to look the same, but it had to weigh a certain amount. So they had to design it so that
So they all
how
weigh
much
different, but-
material they used, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, so
okay.
they had to meet that criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the selectmen's meeting, it was asked, Charlie Appigomian asked the new superintendent about, are you gonna teach the kids penmanship?
Oh,
And
cursive,
she's-
yeah.
Yeah, and
They
she
don't
says,
teach
well, you know, today, all the homework, everything is done on a computer. It's all
computer.
printed,
Yeah,
so it's not the same anymore.
but they can't read cursive because they never learned it.
I know,
And that's one of the things they call soft skill or employable skills. That's another course that we teach. So it's communication, believe it or not, because they communicate this way now
I know,
on a phone.
yeah, it's so
and
fast,
they don't communicate this way.
right,
So when you're employed, you have to communicate this way, so you can work with your team, and you have to be able to handle yourself properly in a social environment. So we teach that as well. How would you greet someone? How do you greet someone? You know, do you shake
Yeah.
hands? Do you look them in the eye? These are skills that we have, believe it or not, we have to teach, because they don't
well, they
get
know how
that
to, they know
training.
how to greet someone on a tablet, that's about
They
it.
do to a certain extent, but some of our employers here in the Valley have said that they don't really know how to compose a proper email. You know, when
Yep.
you're talking with someone, and the world is very small now because it's all done on a computer. When they're conversing with someone in Europe, you can't say, "Hey, dude, how's it
Right.
going today?"
Yeah,
You know, you have to speak or relay proper conversation to someone so that they understand, because they can't translate that back. What does that mean to them?
well, you can't write conversational English,
No,
you have to write
be proper English.
proper, yeah.
Or proper whatever language, because you could be conversing in English on your computer, and they have a translator in Germany.
Yes.
So if you put some euphemism in that you use on the street,
They
they have
don't
no
know, yeah.
idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about. It could be a totally different connotation and
Right.
change the whole idea of what you're trying to convey. So it's things that they don't think about that we're teaching them.
You know, I'm gonna be writing for Rod Lee's new paper,
Oh, the Rambler, yeah.
if I ever get a chance to get the column done. But I'm able to, I didn't go to journalism school, but you know how I learned to write? I read a lot,
Yeah,
and that,
Yeah.
the kids don't do that today.
because it's audiobooks.
Yeah, and it's a shame, because reading helps you with spelling,
Yeah.
with sentence composition, everything. You automatically absorb it
Yeah.
by reading.
Exactly.
And it's a shame, but they don't have to.
Well, we need to do that too, because we need to exercise our brains.
Yeah.
If you don't use a part of your brain, it's gonna not work anymore.
Yeah.
So if we're not reading that part of the brain that
Right.
does that, I've listened to, doctors on TV say that, but, that we're gonna start losing parts of our brain, almost like, Star Trek? They would
Yeah.
have the people with the big brains and then the people with the small brains, and, because of what they exercised more.
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I hate audiobooks. I can't, I tried listening and I can't do it. I have to read. I like the book in my
Yeah.
hand. I like to read.
Yeah, I like a real book in my hand too.
Yeah.
I do listen to audiobooks when I'm on a plane or when I'm in the
Well,
car
yeah,
or
well,
something like that.
if you're stuck
And I
in
love-
traffic, it's
I
nice.
love podcasts. I learn a lot from
Yeah.
podcasts. We got some great ones.
But you can't be 100% with that.
No.
Reading
Yeah.
reading really is instrumental in,
Yeah,
in
it is.
all
It's
your
important.
learning.
Yeah, it's very important. So, those are some of the employable skills that we teach them, and
Yeah.
On Your Own is one of the programs we have because this could be their very first job. And with their credentials, they could be getting a good chunk of change for their payroll, but you still have to budget it.
Yes.
Just because you get a job and, I'm making $1,000 a week doesn't mean you can spend $1,000 a week, because you're not going to have $1,000 in
Well,
that
they make
paycheck.
$1,000 a week, they spend 1,500 a week.
Well,
You
that's
know?
what we're trying to teach them not to do, and how
Right,
to,
exactly.
you need to get an apartment. Are you signing a lease? Are you taking in a roommate? Who's
So you're actually teaching
responsible on
those
the,
things.
yeah, who's responsible on the lease?
Now, that's been a question that the high schools don't do that anymore.
No, they don't even know what a checkbook is anymore. But of course, a lot of people don't use checkbooks anymore.
Well,
But
I
you
know,
should
I mean,
know.
now
They just
everything is done by
use
electronics.
debit cards. They use debit cards.
Yeah, debit
But,
cards and automatic
You
bill
need to know
payment.
what a check is. You need to know what the numbers on the checks mean.
Right.
So we teach them all of that. That's why financial literacy is very important. We teach that. That's career readiness
These
on your
classes all
own.
take place while they're there during the
Yeah,
day.
they have a lifestyles class, and then we call it a lifestyles class, which includes all of that. And then they have whatever the requirements for the certificate courses. It could be design, it could be creating something in the computer lab and then making it. It could be figuring out how to use the mill and the lathe, because we teach them
Yeah.
also on the manual machines.
Yeah,
And
because they're
then-
still out there.
They're still out there. They need to know the principle, because if you
Right.
just learn the computer program, it never really registers. The coding and everything registers, but you don't really understand what you're doing on that machine.
Right.
You need to know why you coded that and why that machine is doing this or
Yeah,
this
because
or
if the
or
machine breaks
that.
down, you need to know what happened.
What are you making, and why what drill head are you using?
Yeah.
And why? In a manual mill, you would change it.
Right.
You do the changes on your own. And we had a simple project, and this is the one that one of the students finished so quickly, making like big dice, but
Yes.
those have holes in them.
Right.
But we only wanted you to do it with 3 changes.
Wow.
Okay? So
Yeah,
you had
'cause
to figure that out.
You got,
You had to
what,
get 'em
6
all-
sides on a dice.
Right, so
and
you
could only make
could
3
only
changes.
make 3 changes to do it. So you had to figure that out.
I couldn't, off the top of my head, I couldn't figure out how
Yeah,
you could do that.
But they did. That was one of the
Yeah.
kids that I saw sitting like this, and I said, "Go finish your project." He said, "I'm done." And we looked at it and went, "Perfect." So we said we got to have something else for them to do. That's why they sometimes can just look at something and
I got the
know
rational
what
of
they're
that now.
doing.
3 and 6, you could transfer.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. You gotta
Yeah, I
think
know, I
about
have
it.
to.
You got to think about it.
And then 2 and 4.
Yeah.
And
So
then the 1, I don't know how you would get, but,
yeah.
yeah, but there is a way of doing it, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good though,
Yeah.
and these kids figured it out.
Oh yeah, very much so.
And like I
Yeah.
said, these are kids that if they went through the regular school system, probably wouldn't do well.
Yeah, they just not in not in a college prep course. That
Right.
they don't want
And-
to do
but
it.
also-
It's not what they want to do, and
In the
that's what's
regular-
happening in our public school systems. These students that are not academically superior are no longer accepted by vocational schools.
Right,
So they're in the public school system, which is set up for college prep.
yeah,
They're not set up anymore for vocational training, and these students can't get it, don't want to get it. They become disciplinary problems, or they drop out of school.
well, what keeps the kids in school is they have to be challenged.
Yeah.
And these
and it
kids aren't being
doesn't-
challenged because academics doesn't challenge them.
No, but it's like getting an academic kid to do this. They
Right.
probably couldn't do it.
No,
But they're superior in other ways.
yeah, but
It's
you're giving them
finding the
you're
niche
giving them
for the kid.
vocational
Yeah.
challenge.
And they make amazing things, the things
Yeah.
they make.
Like
I
you
mean,
say, it's a
they
cha-
each get a
but-
toolbox, they get their dial, I remember the day they got their dial calipers.
Yep.
They came running, look miss, look what we got. And I'm like, wonder what that is, found out later. But they are amazing at what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them come from disadvantaged backgrounds, so this is a key to a great career path and
But, yeah.
a way for them to really make a good living.
Humans are a competitive species.
Yeah.
You have to have a challenge.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
giving them that challenge that they wouldn't get in the regular
Right.
school system. And like you say, they're not getting into the voc tech system because
Yeah.
you have to be
Yeah,
academically on top.
superior, yeah, you do, they're taking the,
And I
'cause,
know,
and 95% of those kids go on to college, they don't go to work. So that's
Right.
why we have a work skills gap. And I'm not saying it's wrong, I think it's great that they've
Well-
evolved, because they're doing really terrific things.
when I talked to Mike Fitzpatrick about it, he said, look, my problem is I had so many that want to go to my school.
Yeah,
I have to have a system to say who can come.
yeah.
You know, and you're not gonna put a system in there and say, well, I'll take the lowest grade.
No, but they could do a lottery, but they're not
That
gonna
probably
do
would
that.
make, I think that would make more sense.
Yeah, it would make more sense, but they wouldn't get the funding that they get for, kids going to college. And they're doing great work, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they have, courses like aeronautical engineering in high school. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing, Blackstone, I'm very proud of Blackstone Valley Tech. It's an amazing school. I'm very proud that it's in our area and that it can be offered to, the students in our area. But it is a big competition, and there's about 650 kids every year that don't get in.
I know, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, so what we have to do is equip our public schools with more vocational training. And ways to do that is with grants, and we've helped Northbridge get a work skills grant, and Uxbridge too. Northbridge and Uxbridge were our pilot programs, and they're going great guns. And also innovation pathways. There's only a handful of innovation pathway schools in Massachusetts, and 2 of them are in the Blackstone Valley, Northbridge and Uxbridge.
Wow.
And Uxbridge is a project Lead the Way, and Sutton is a project Lead the Way. So, we're moving forward, and we started our first public school. We got 18 public school students coming on Tuesday nights at the Ed Hub.
I don't think a lot of people know that. You have kids from not from the public school system
Yeah.
coming down to the Linwood Milty, your
Yeah,
Ed Center.
They're taking Introduction to Engineering
Yeah,
to
and
start.
they come on a Tuesday night, so it's
Yeah.
not interrupting their school day.
Yeah, or their sports or
Or their
anything like
sports, they
that.
can do the
We don't
sports in
wanna
the
interrupt
afternoon,
that,
it's a night program.
Yeah, yeah. And it will grow.
Yeah,
We're just, they're getting their feet wet and seeing how it goes. And they're eager to learn. We have a great teacher. It's the teacher, Mike Smutok from Uxbridge, who teaches in Uxbridge. And the 2 pilot schools aren't coming. Northbridge and Uxbridge students aren't coming because we already established the classes in the school with them.
uh-huh.
But it's the other surrounding schools, including Bellingham is one of the schools outside of our service, outside of the Blackstone Valley that's coming. But we've got Blackstone, Millville, Regional, Sutton, Grafton. I don't think Millbury's part of it. They will be, though, down the road. Hopedale, yeah, and those.
Almost,
that's
well, the
it.
whole valley,
Yeah,
really.
yeah. So, working on, I'm not sure if Upton's in yet either, but they will be. And, we can put other evening classes. We also got a grant through WPI and Quinsigamond Community College, and we're working in robotics for 7th and 8th graders.
Big,
So-
that's
yeah.
a field that's exploding.
So come spring, we're gonna be holding classes with WPI professors and grad students, and it's called Cobots for Kids. And we're gonna teach them about robotics and advanced manufacturing. They'll be using the 3D printers, and it's a whole curriculum. And we're gonna start out with 18 students, 9 male, 9 female, and then when we finish that, we'll do it again. So but this is for 7th and 8th graders so that they can learn. So we'll be, offering that out
I mean,
to the
this is
7th
the
and 8th
future.
graders. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Collaborative robots.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that can do anything from cookies to cars. They can decorate cookies, and it's we're gonna teach, we're calling it programming because it's 7th and 8th graders, but it's really coding. So we're gonna be teaching them like introduction to coding, so they can train like you need a robot to decorate a cookie, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta program it
But someone's gotta
to
program
go,
it.
go down,
Yeah.
fill it up and then go down and do this, decorate, and it probably has, like the CNC machines have, it probably has another head with a green and a red and a blue, and it decorates the cookie, so you do that. So you do it in the design lab and design whatever you want on it, and program it, and that's the coding, you put the code
This is gonna be
together.
important for
Yeah.
future jobs.
And this will
because
be seventh and eighth graders that are
mean,
getting the introduction.
We're already seeing, the fallback you had for years was, oh, I get a job in a fast food
Yeah.
restaurant. That's not gonna happen. Those are going robotic.
Yeah, they are, they
I mean-
are, and unfortunately, we knew that years ago, that once the minimum wage went up,
Yeah,
they were gonna go.
it made
they were
it
gonna-
worth their while.
That's why they supported, that's why the fast food restaurants supported the minimum wage increase, because they knew they were gonna be letting go a lot of their
Yeah.
employees. They were gonna be replacing them. So what we need to do is retrain people,
Yeah, so people. if
so
they-
that
someone has to
robots are
ar-
great, but they don't do anything without a human telling it what to do.
You need a human to program, you
Yeah.
need a human to repair them.
Yeah, so when
and of
people
course the
say, a
manufacturer.
robot took away my job, well, your job was moving this box from here to here.
Yeah.
Did you really want to do that? Wouldn't you rather be the guy programming the robot to move the box from here to here?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a better job for you, you're using your noggin, and you're not hurting your body.
Right.
Because that's a lot of wear and tear on your
That's another
body.
good example. I mean, they're good paying jobs working in UPS or
Yeah.
in some warehouses.
But it takes its toll on
But-
your body. Do that for 20 years,
Yeah,
that's,
and the thing is that these companies are finding it's much more efficient,
yeah.
more accurate, and
Yeah.
cheaper in the long run to have that robot.
But they need a good person to do the robot. We have
Yeah.
WireFab as one of our clients, and they are hiring some of our students, and it's welding. And they make all of the metal cooking equipment for Dunkin' Donuts and a lot of caterers.
Yeah.
So you have like that wire basket to fry donuts or whatever,
Yes.
but do you know how many welds that is to make that basket? So they used to do it by hand. Do you know how long that took or whatever?
Oh my God.
So
yeah,
now they have a robot. So what we
and
do is
toot,
they
toot, toot, toot.
they have manual welders to do big welding, so they need them and they hire them and they pay them good money. But they also teach others to program this machine where this big arm comes out of a welder and the wire goes in and the door closes and you hear
Yeah.
and you come out and it's all welded.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have done that if there wasn't a person there telling
Right,
it
someone's
what
gonna
to
be
do.
programming that
Yeah.
machine.
So it's important. So robots aren't taking our jobs. They're opening the opportunity for better jobs.
Right,
So
and better paying
Better
jobs.
better paying jobs and just better jobs all around. Cleaner, neater, not dangerous. So it's a good opportunity for everyone. So we're excited to be on the cusp of that and to be able to help our manufacturers. And it all started because our manufacturers said we had no one to work for us.
Well, people don't realize
Yeah.
that. The other thing they don't realize, is we have a lot of manufacturing jobs in the valley.
We do. And they're growing.
Yes.
The valley is growing a lot. I'm meeting with a new company that's moving into Uxbridge, and by March, he's gonna need 400 employees. So I'm bringing Kevin Kuros with me, our new regional director, former
Yeah.
state rep, and we're gonna sit down and map out what we need to do to attract these people. So, I think they're gonna open in January. It's a brand-new company that's going in the new industrial park, and we're gonna be recruiting people, to employ 400. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
And it's all types of jobs, from truck drivers to IT people to assemblers to entry level to mid level to high level, So it's quite a diverse opportunity for a lot
Yeah,
of
we
people.
think that a lot of people who live in the valley are commuting into Boston and 495 and
Mm-hmm.
128, but they don't have to because there's jobs opening up here.
Yeah, and also a lot of people work remotely
Yes.
now.
That's becoming very popular.
Yeah, and we have to.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. The traffic is unbelievable.
I know.
I mean, I had a meeting at the State House 3 weeks ago at 11 o'clock. I had to speak on a panel, and I said, "Oh, I'll wait to leave because we'll let the rush hour traffic go." So I left at like 8 o'clock. Excuse me. I got there at 10 minutes of 11. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, just head out to 495 in the
Yeah.
morning toward Hoppington, bumper to bumper.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And it lasts well after 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And people say, well, I take the train. Well, that's great, except in our area, the train only runs twice a day.
Yeah,
and I have to get back to the office. I can't stay there all day long.
yeah.
So if you go in at, take what, the 7, 8 o'clock train in Grafton, actually I think it's 6:30. You don't get back till 6 at night. So, you know, you have to make sure you've got your day
If you can
filled.
get on the train,
Yeah.
they're running out of room on the train. They keep
Yeah.
adding cars. They wanna expand the parking lot.
Yeah, they do.
That's how popular it is. But there again, the train, and also the train breaks down.
Well, hopefully, you know, Omni got, our own in Northbridge, he got contract, the MBTA contract to improve the rails.
Oh,
So he's
good.
gonna be hiring more people. So maybe with all the improvements that they're making, we won't be saying, oh, the train
I
breaks down.
know.
But everything's old. You
Yeah.
know, we need to maintain it, we need new. It's
Well,
just
they
like our
have new
bridges
cars
and
coming,
roads.
but they said they're coming in 2021, but they won't be in service until 2024, because I guess when they get here, they gotta do things to them.
I don't
Yes.
know. You know, there's always, you know, there's always the detail. The devil's in the details, right?
Yes, no, I heard that
Always.
on the news yesterday, but, yeah, so there are a lot of great things happening.
Yeah,
You got a
so
lot.
Omni is a great opportunity for people. They'll be hiring more Omni Control Technologies, hometown guy.
It
You know,
started with a
Peter
little company.
Badesian. Yeah,
and he-
really innovative. He's been he's a merger with Nibby from Sweden, and they want to keep it here. And we're working with them on another grant that we're doing with the Sheriff's Department on a reentry grant. Because ironically, Nibby's other American company is in Leavenworth, Kansas, and you know what's there.
Yeah,
So they work with the prisoners there
Oh.
in Leavenworth. So they're very open to working with the House of Correction here. And Lou Evangelitis is wonderful to work with.
yeah, that's something else people don't realize you're doing. You've got a program at the jail
Yeah, just started with, they've got classroom, they're doing classroom
that's coming
teaching.
out of the Blackstone Valley Educational Hub.
Right, right. Our teacher from the Ed Hub goes there one day a week and teaches some of the inmates that are gonna be released. These are minor offenses.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be out within the next 6 months, but we're starting their classroom teachings. And when they're released on Saturdays, they'll come to the Ed Hub and they'll get their hands-on training. And they'll get the MACWIC certifications, the NIMS, the OSHA, just like our younger students are getting.
And they're all guaranteed a job because.
They're waiting,
you-
waiting
yeah,
in the
you know, you
wings.
deal with these people,
Yeah.
the owners and the CEOs, and they're telling, please, get these people
Yeah.
to me, I need
And these
them.
welders will be great, so please, please, say a prayer for me, cross your fingers that we get this grant, because these virtual welders will change people's lives.
This is money.
I'm gonna take a welding course, I'll make 6 figures.
Yeah, this is money that's well
Yeah.
spent, because the return on it is so great.
Yeah, yeah.
You're putting people to work, they pay taxes, it all comes back, so that grant gets paid back over
Yeah.
the long term.
And we actually are working, I met with Worcester State. Worcester State has a great coding program.
Yes,
And it sounds like it's expensive, but in the long run, it really isn't. It's $10,000, well, it's $9,900 or something.
well, you might as well round it off to 10.
$10,000 to take the course. It includes your computer, your laptop, that's all programs, got all the software on it, and that's yours. But when you finish, you'll be certified in coding, and
You're walking
do you
into
know
a
what
good paying job.
you know what entry level is? 82,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, 82,000, and you can do it from home. In many cases, you work remotely, so that's a great job. That's a great job. And that I was talking to someone today who said, "Geez, I got a kid at home. He's 23 years old. He doesn't have a job. He plays video games all day." I said, "Ah,
He's perfect.
he's perfect for coding, because he gets it. His brain is wired that way. You know, he doesn't want. He tried college, wasn't for him." And he's home playing video games. He's 23. Come on.
So he
You
likes
know,
being on the computer.
Yeah, and that's would make sense to him.
Yeah.
That would be fun for him.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of people they want for coding, and it's
Yeah.
a great way to make a living.
And you don't have to commute.
No,
Isn't that the best
and you
part?
start out at 82 grand. I mean,
Yeah.
geez.
You know, you
Wow.
wake up in the morning, you had a major snowstorm, I don't care.
Yeah.
I sit at my computer.
Yeah, and might work in your jammies.
Yeah.
So it's terrific. So long story short, we are working with Worcester State, and they just started the program on their campus at the Center for Business and Industry, and we're trying to put together a contract so they can teach it at the Ed Hub. We can do it on our computers, or they're giving everybody their own computer. We can even teach it in our conference room at the chamber. So there's a lot of opportunities coming down the road to
Yeah.
us that we're going to be able to pass along to people that live in the Blackstone Valley and the students in the Blackstone Valley, and adults that want to be retrained in the Blackstone Valley.
Have you started your adult courses yet?
Well, some of these students from the Job Corps are adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're over 21. But a lot of them are, they're high school graduates already. So I guess
Yeah.
you could say that's adult courses, but there's some of them are only 17, 18. And there's a couple that are 21.
But you are going to open up to adults that live in town.
Oh, yeah.
In
Oh, yeah.
the Blackstone
Well,
Valley.
they could join now if they wanted to take these courses. They would take it with,
Well, that's what I was getting at.
or we could do it on alternate days. We've got the Job Corps now on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We had 4 days going. Those other kids graduated, so now we've got Tuesdays and Thursdays, so Monday and Wednesdays are open.
So if anyone's interested, contact.
Yeah, if we can get a class together, I'd love that. It would be
Contact you
terrific.
down at the chamber.
Yeah, at Blackstone Valley Chamber at 508-234-9090, and I'm extension 106.
Yeah,
But you
and
can
let them know
pop
that
in
you're
right at
interested.
the
When you
Winland
find enough
Mill.
people interested,
Yeah,
you'll
we'll
get the
put a
course.
class together. We
Yeah.
could get at least 10 together. We can start a class.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the jobs are pretty plentiful, so I don't know of a lot of people that are laid off, that
Yeah.
most working, but there gotta be some people
Or
out
you might be
there.
doing something you don't like to do. You know,
Exactly, that's the.
You want to be
you know,
retrained. You want to do something that's going to make a good living for you. You don't want to make minimum wage your whole life.
No.
You know?
And you want a job you like, that's the
Yeah.
most important. I always told my kids, do what, I don't care what you do, I don't
Yeah,
care
if
if
you
you're a
enjoy it.
janitor, if you like it, because you're gonna
It's
do it
a
all day
career.
long.
It's never a job. It's a career.
Right.
You know, you'll never work another day in your life if you're doing something that you like.
Right,
And, you know, a lot of these manufacturers are employee-owned,
yes.
you know, and you make good money. And when you leave, you could have, 7 figures to retire on. So, I mean, that's not bad. And retire at a good young age. You don't have to wait till you're 70 years old. You can retire, 55 or older.
Yeah, there was a thing on news the other day that Massachusetts had a tremendous, very low unemployment rate, and a low number of people, they need more people to work.
Yeah, we do. We really do. So that's
We
why
have
it's
We have
exciting.
a workforce shortage now.
Yeah, the Job Corps in Grafton now, since we added the advanced manufacturing course to the Ed Hub, it's the only Job Corps on the East Coast that's offering this. So we're getting students from Florida, South
Oh.
Carolina.
They have to
um,
move up here?
They live on campus, yeah. They request, so they transfer
Oh,
from the
they
Job Corps
okay.
that they're in
Oh,
Florida or
okay.
South Carolina or I think Pittsburgh, we've got Maine, New Hampshire, so that they can take the advanced manufacturing course. So these are people now that are going to be staying in Massachusetts, working, paying taxes here because they're getting good jobs.
Now, I know the Lieutenant Governor wanted to come down here because she would like to see this program
Yeah,
expanded.
she wants, this is like a pilot program for the rest of the state.
Yeah,
So, and the unique thing is that the chamber's involved because we're the feeder market for it. We're
Yes.
getting the manufacturers involved in it.
so she's trying to get other chambers.
Yeah.
Didn't Worcester start something up now?
No, Worcester didn't start anything up. They're just supporting Worcester Vocational Technical High School on it. But it's not anything with the public schools yet. Yeah. I talked to other chambers and they think it's too much work.
Oh.
It is a lot of work.
It is, but
Believe me, it's a lot of work. But it's very rewarding. Yeah.
you're not afraid of work, 'cause you take a lot of stuff on down here.
Yeah,
I know
it's-
firsthand.
It's challenging and it's great and I enjoy it. So we get a lot going on too. We've got great things going. We've got some exciting people coming to our annual meeting this year too.
Yes, coming up in
Yeah.
November.
November 26th, it's a breakfast meeting at Pleasant Valley Country Club. It's our 41st annual meeting, and we've got some national speakers. Our theme is community commerce leadership, and we've got global leaders working with local leaders. And the global leaders we have is Andrea Jung, who is the first woman CEO of Avon Corporation.
Yes.
She sits on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and also on the board of directors for Wayfair, which is right here in
Yeah,
Massachusetts.
they're located,
Yeah.
headquartered out of Boston.
Yeah, she comes from Wellesley. She lives in Manhattan now. And she started Venley Corporation, who we work with. And those are graduate students that we utilize as fellows to work with businesses. And they're partially funded, so you only have to give them a stipend. And they help small businesses to work with their social media standings, their search engine optimization, and to bring them top of mind. So it's easy for others to find them. So it's a great opportunity for a graduate student to get a job or get their foot in the door of some of these companies. And they're so tech savvy, they can train these small, because small business owners wear so many hats. They're
today
trying to
it's-
do their web, they're trying to do their social media, they're
Well,
trying to
that's
run
the
their
thing,
company, they're
it's-
trying to do their accounting.
A
Yeah.
small business today, it's not like it was 30 years ago.
No, it's like Mr. Drucker on Petticoat Junction, he takes one hat off and puts another hat
Yeah,
on.
yeah, well, now you
Yeah.
gotta be tech savvy, you
Yeah.
gotta get on the internet, you gotta know social media, you gotta
Yeah.
to get the word out.
Right, so these fellows who just graduated from schools like Clark or Holy Cross, or they come in and they work one-on-one with the small business owner or maybe the person that's their office manager, and they teach them these techniques, and then they do an analysis on how their standings are on social media, because everybody's looking for you on the phone. If
Yeah.
you're not coming up, we can't find you.
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't realize that. They'd say, "Oh, I got a Facebook page." Yeah, but have you been putting posts on it? What are your standings?
yeah.
Do you tweet? Do you connect it so when you put something on Facebook, it automatically puts it on Twitter, it automatically, sends it over to Instagram or whatever?
Yeah, you really gotta do social sites
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you have to. And this is a good way and an affordable way of learning, this very important techniques on growing your business. So Venley Corporation is very helpful with that. They work only with chambers of commerce. We were the first chamber of commerce to work with them, which was great. And they're all across the country. I actually went out to Nashville to speak at the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives convention, the national convention, and we brought the Venley people with us so that it's spreading across the country. So Andrea is going to be one of our keynote speakers. Well, actually, we're going to have a panel. We've got Dr. Evan Malone, who got his doctorate at MIT, and while he was there, they developed a technique for fabrication laboratories. And when I spoke with him, because I met him through Venley, it inspired us to build the Ed Hub. So he was our inspiration
Wow.
behind this whole thing. So he has what's called the Next Lab in Chicago.
Yep,
And he's gotten a lot of accolades for that type of lab. It's a cooperative laboratory that manufacturers and others use, which we'd like to have at the Ed Hub too. So if, say you've got a manufacturer that needs to use a laser cutter and they can't afford it, well, we have a laser cutter.
so you
So,
can,
They can come in and
swap
they
out.
can,
yep,
lease time on it.
yep,
And do their project, or lease it for a day and do their project, and, because they don't have, $100,000 to buy this laser cutter.
Right.
And we were fortunate enough to get a grant to pay for it. So, so these are things that he started that are great concepts that we're trying to integrate into the
well, now,
Ed
to
Hub.
do that, they would do that via the internet, right?
No, they can come in, they would come in,
Physically come in?
physically come in, rent time on the laser
So they'd
cutter
have
and
to
use
come in
it.
from Chicago, or?
Oh, no, I mean, if, for the Ed Hub,
Oh, okay.
if someone wanted to use a laser cutter, they would, from the
Oh.
area, they would use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doing it with people in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
But you bring up a good point, because one thing we did when we opened the Ed Hub is we did do remote printing.
Yes.
Is we
With the internet, you can do that.
Yeah, we scanned the Lieutenant Governor's head and Jim
Yes.
McGovern's head, and we made a bobblehead, but we sent it to a 3D printer in Minneapolis. And then it got sent back to us
Yeah.
when it was completed. Not like Star Trek, it didn't get back, it had to come back
Well,
through
yeah,
overnight
yeah,
through
yeah,
FedEx, it had to come back from
yeah,
FedEx.
you had to FedEx, but-
Unfortunately, we haven't we haven't developed the transporter yet to get it to come over. That would be great, though. We should have MIT working on that. That would solve the traffic problem, too.
Yeah.
You know?
But with 3D printers,
Yeah.
if you got the 3D printer in your place, someone remotely can connect through the
Yes.
internet.
Well, that's one of the 3-tiered printers that we have, and the schools can connect. The kids can do their programs at school, and then they can send their project over to the 3D printer, and then overnight it will print it,
Yes.
and it'll be in the bin in the morning. So, I'll come in and there's 5 different things in the bin, and I'm like, what the heck were they making? What is that? And it depends on the project, what they have to do, like how many cuts or what kind of design. I mean, I came in one morning and some kid had a Lamborghini
Oh,
symbol or whatever, and another one had a Wonder Woman thing, and,
Oh, my God.
another one did a beautiful chess set.
It's
A full
amazing.
chess set with dragons, and it was all made on a 3D printer. And then we have the dogs, and then we even had preschool kids come in this summer for the reading program, and we read the story about golden retrievers, and then we had made a bunch of golden retrievers that night, but we had one printing while they were
Don't they
there.
amaze you how good they are on the computers?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
yeah.
I mean, they're bought into it.
Yeah, these were little kids, so, I think they show the babies now when they look at magazines, and they don't know to turn the page, they keep
Yeah. I know.
touching it because they're used to an iPad or a
Yeah.
phone. So the babies do that. So things are different. Everything's different now.
Well, I know.
You know?
I was in a restaurant, this kid, I don't think he could walk, and he was playing
Yeah.
with a little
Yeah.
computer, hand computer.
Well, that's what they had the babies swiping magazine pages. They didn't, and they were going, "Why isn't it changing? It's print."
It is
So
amazing.
I'm
But this
glad
is the age
that
we're coming into.
right. But I'm glad we lived when we lived
Yes.
because we got to see
We experienced both
everything.
worlds, yes.
Yeah, everything, and it's just amazing. Like, my dad lived to be 92. God bless him. I wish he, lived to be 102. He passed away about 10 years ago. But I was able to open my laptop and show him the web page for his town in Italy, Sparanese, and
Yeah.
it was like, wow.
Yeah,
He remembers the Iceman. He
Yeah.
remembers horse-drawn ragman.
I know.
He,
Yeah.
and you say people don't know what a ragman is. I do remember the ragman.
I do too.
Yeah, but I don't remember the Iceman. We had refrigerators when I grew
Yeah.
up. But he remembers all of those things. And he told me for Christmas, and I saw, actually I was watching the country music documentary this week, Ken Burns.
Yes, that's
And they
a
were
great show.
talking
I
about
saw the first one, and I
how-
haven't had time to watch the
Well,
rest.
my dad was born in 1916, so he remembers for Christmas he would get an orange
Yeah,
and a crystal set. And I didn't know what that was. And he said, you made a radio
yeah,
out of it. And they talked about that during the Depression, crystal sets and
Yeah.
listening to the radio. And I said, oh, my dad used to talk about that. And that's what they would get,
yeah.
and always an orange. So now in our house, everybody gets an orange for Christmas because of Papa. Yeah.
KDKA out of Pittsburgh was the first radio signal that was sent out by a
Wow.
commercial station. In fact, they're still in business,
Yeah.
KDKA. And their KDKA, after the FCC came around and started licensing, all stations on the east half of the Mississippi start with W.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the west, they start with K.
K.
But they were one of the first, so they,
Well,
And-
that's why Worcester Airport can't be WOR, because
It
the
interferes with
radio
the radio.
stations are W.
Yes.
So people say, why is it ORH? And they said, well, because the
Because it
person that
confused
did
them
it
with a radio
was
station.
was radio station, but the person that was doing it thought it was Worcester.
Yeah.
So they put the H in there
I
instead
know.
of, yeah.
I
And
know.
so we're stuck with it now,
Yeah,
instead of, because we're going, what is ORH?
ORH, yeah.
It should have been ORC.
Yeah, which
but
would have
yeah.
made a lot more
Yeah,
sense.
but ORH. So it's just, it's really strange.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress.
Yeah.
The annual meeting, so we've got Dr. Evan Malone, and then we have Mark Koblitz, who was the CEO of Comcast Corporation.
Yeah.
So these are great leaders, but we're going to partner them with local leaders like Robin LeClaire from Lampin Corporation.
Yeah.
Who's the CEO of Lampin
Yeah, we
Corporation.
did an interview with her not too
Yeah,
long ago.
amazing, it's
That's
amazing.
quite an organization they got
It
down
really
there.
is, and that's an employee-owned company.
Yeah.
And Carl Moisen from Homefield Credit Union, because the Credit Union Association actually supports scholarships for fellows. So it's good to recognize people like
Yes.
that and leaders. So that's a community leader that supports, you know, a graduate student from our area.
And this breakfast meeting is open to everyone.
It's open to the public, and
Yeah.
you would have an opportunity to speak one-on-one with these
I knew
people
with these
that you
peop-
would
yeah.
never meet in
'Cause
your
they
entire
do
life.
mingle after.
Yeah, before and after.
Before and
And we're
after.
gonna have Q&A too.
Yeah.
So you could get some advice on leadership or your company from these people that
You don't have to be a member of the chamber.
No, you don't have to be a
But
member of the
if you
chamber.
are
at all.
interested,
Yeah,
get a hold with Jeannie. Call
Yeah.
the chamber, because she needs to have a count.
we do, for
can't
the
just
food.
walk in
'Cause
that
we have
day.
we try to make it a little special, and it's an award ceremony too.
Yes.
So we need nominations from the public too, for the Jerry Gaudet Extra Mile Award is
Yeah.
one of our most popular award, named for Jerry Gaudet because he was very philanthropic and community-minded. So what we would like to do is make sure that every year someone is honored that has done a lot in our community. So if you know anyone like that, like Leslie Reichert was last year, she's such an
Yes.
amazing individual. I think everyone will agree on that. So if you've got someone in mind, we want to hear about it. We want to honor that person. So you can contact us at the phone number 508-234-9090. At extension 100 is the front desk, or you can pop in or send me a note or an email.
And this is
at-
open to anyone.
Yeah, anyone.
Anyone in the valley.
Yeah, we have Economic Development Leadership Award, so if someone that's developed a new company or done some construction, building in the area, opened a new company this year, we want to honor them in the valley. Environmental leaders, you know, people that we've honored. Chuck Arning was one of our
Yeah.
recipients one year, Ranger Chuck. Bonnie Combs was another one for
She
her
is
recycling
one of the
efforts.
biggest
She's amazing.
environmentalist I know. She's
Yeah.
got me recycling the plastic now.
Yeah, so there's a number of awards, and we'll have those listed on our website at blackstonevalley.org.
I'm working on a project for, I'll tell you a little story. I did my tour of the historic district last
Yeah.
Saturday with Bonnie, and we're walking by the front of the cotton mill, and she grabs me and she says, "See all those butts?" Because the people in the cotton mill come out the sidewalk to smoke. All those are gonna end up in the Mumford River.
I know, and it's
I wanna get
it's
someone
toxic.
To put a butt can here,
Yeah,
and I'll empty it, because I get them recycled.
yeah,
So I'm trying to work on that now.
yeah.
I approached the town, but they don't have $100 to buy one, so. I'm gonna-
Well, you know, maybe someone would donate it.
Any
Who-
business,
Yeah, maybe the
she
business
has a
itself
program,
would
she sent me
donate
the
it.
website,
Yeah,
where they'll print the name of the
Yeah.
business on the can, so it's a great way of advertising and showing how you're environmentally conscious,
yeah,
because she's right, all them, they end up in the sewer, and this drain
It's
goes right
toxic.
into the Mumford
and
River.
it's toxic, it has.
Yeah, or the
those
fish end up eating them and dying.
Well, it also contaminates your water because
Yeah.
it's loaded with chemicals, as we know,
Yeah,
unfortunately, but people keep smoking, so,
but, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't care if they smoke out
Yeah.
there, but let's have a place to dispose of
Yeah.
them,
exactly.
keep it cleaner.
Yeah, we need to educate our people.
I think it'd be a good idea to put them all over in town.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be having a panel on that. We're going to have an award ceremony. So it's November 26th. Registration is 7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Program is 8 to 10. And it's a great time. We get
It is.
usually about 200 people. A lot of fun, and you learn a lot, and you get to network, and it's a very valuable day. So we hope that you'll come. It's open to the public. And, yeah,
I've met some great people. I got to do an interview with the
Governor
Governor
Dukakis last
Dukakis,
year.
former presidential candidate.
Wasn't he great? Yeah, he
Yeah.
was terrific. I was really fortunate to get him. I love him.
He was
Yeah.
funny. He made a great
Yeah.
speech. He
We've
really-
had great speakers at our annual
Yeah.
meetings. We had Elizabeth Warren before
Yeah.
she became senator. We had Governor Baker the day after he won the election.
Yeah,
Yeah. We've had, oh my goodness. We've had, obviously, Jim McGovern. We had Duval Patrick. We had Michelle Mitchell, My first year, she's a friend of mine, but she was CNN, a Washington correspondent, and she had wonderful stories. She was on the plane with General Schwarzkopf and interviewed him, and yeah, she was terrific. So we've had some pretty noteworthy speakers
Yes.
for our annual meeting.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of interest with them, or they wouldn't
Yeah.
come.
Right, yeah.
So,
And the Blackstone Valley is a great place to be, and we really make a difference in what we do.
the valley is really becoming well-known.
Right, exactly.
We're
Yeah.
trying ourselves.
Yeah,
And Jeannie shares a radio show with me now on
Yeah.
weekends. You can
Right.
tune us in, and Saturdays at 1:30 and
yeah,
Sundays at 6 a.m. and 12:30 p.m.
yeah. WCRN,
And
yeah.
you'd find it very interesting. In fact, this week we interviewed Fetchin,
Quite Fetching.
Quite Fetchin.
In Grafton. It's a
Yeah.
great little shop for people who love dogs. They have wonderful dog treats in there that are healthy and homemade, and they have ice cream for the
She
dog.
has dog cookies.
She has
that
dog
are
cookies.
made for dogs.
Yeah.
So they don't get sick.
Yeah, yeah.
She has lactose-free ice cream for
Right,
dogs.
because lactose, they
Yeah.
have a hard time breaking it
She
down.
has a type of beer for dogs.
Yeah.
And they actually have a doggy bar.
They have a doggy bar. You can have your dog's birthday party there.
Yeah.
And they actually were running through the summer, I don't know if they're doing it anymore, over at Hunter's Tavern outside there. 'Cause
Yes.
it's almost across the street. It's located on the Grafton Common. You could go once a month, a Sunday dinner with your dog. You could bring your
Yeah.
dog with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, nothing better than that.
Very dog-friendly store.
Yeah, and that's right up my alley, as you know, because I love dogs.
When you
Love
walk in,
animals.
there's a gate, so the dogs can't run out into the street once
Right.
they're in there.
Yeah.
And they just free to walk around, as long as they don't piddle on the place.
Well, if they piddle, they own it.
If
they piddle on it, they
anything,
have to
own
buy it.
You have to buy it.
Yeah.
And Emily's from Northbridge.
Yep, she is. She's from Northbridge, and they have doggy jackets
Yeah.
and coats and boots and costumes and.
She's gonna be in that chair with her dogs, I think about the third week in October.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
great. But
I
it's
thought
a,
it should be interesting, 'cause
Oh,
how many
it's a
people have a
terrific-
store catering to dogs?
oh, it's a terrific store, and it just is lovely. I love bringing my dogs there. They love it too. They really do. And yeah, my Dave and Bella, they
Yeah.
love to run around the store.
By the way, it's right in Grafton Center.
Yeah, right
So-
across from the Common in the brick building there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the old town hall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's right on the corner. It's a great place.
Well worth bringing a dog. Your dog will not be disappointed.
No, they have fun. It's terrific. So we've got some great
Yeah, you
members
got
of the
some great
chamber.
stuff coming up. Quick,
Yeah,
real quick, we got shop local,
Shop Small.
shop small. I
Shop
always-
Small is always the Saturday after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
it's the same week of the annual meeting. And
Day
we're
after
already
Black
taking,
Friday.
yeah, we're already taking applications. And we've got a lot more stores this year. It's
Yeah.
Shop Small 01588. And if you don't have a business on Church Street, you can still participate because we
Yeah.
have pop-up shops.
Yes,
And they do very, very well. Believe me, people come and they want to shop for the holiday. So if you're a retailer, you want to participate, you can contact the chamber, or you can contact Jesse Skatanis over at Skatanis, or Christine Guaniper over at Little Man. They'll help you, but you can contact the chamber and we'll help to get you registered. It's a great time. I always work there. There's a scavenger hunt for the shoppers, and it's a lot of fun, and we have prizes after they finish the scavenger hunt.
you know what's been, these stores offer unique gifts.
Oh, really unique
You know,
gifts.
you want to buy the same
And
old thing,
beautifully made
or give
things.
someone money for Christmas.
Yeah.
No, get them a nice.
Yeah.
It's remembered a lot
Yeah.
more, and you'd be amazed what's out there.
And Church Street is experiencing a revitalization with all of
Oh,
the
is it ever?
boutique shops that are opening
Yes.
there. So if you haven't been on Church Street in Northbridge, you really need to stroll down, stop in one of the new shops.
It's a good walking area now,
Yeah.
because you got all these little shops you can pop in and out of.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The Green Plate, you can pop in for lunch at
Yeah.
the Valley Cafe or Peg's. It's right there
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it's three good little
There's the
diners
tea
right
shop
there.
there. You can pop into the tea shop and have a nice homemade tea. And
Yeah.
I'm half English. I know you can tell I'm Italian, but I'm half British. So my mom always gave me tea, so I'm partial to tea. And she has great teas in her shop there.
I heard that's quite an experience to go there. It's not just like a tea shop.
No.
It's not a place like a coffee shop where you go have a
Right.
cup of tea. It's a little more of an experience.
It is, and that's how tea should be. You know, you have high tea and you brew it, and it's in a pot, and you know, my mother was British, so you know it was tough for her to get used to that bag.
The Brits know
But-
tea.
Oh, they do. You have to brew it, and it's a whole process. So, but it's well worth the experience if you have the time. And I purchase a lot of teas from her. You can take home,
Ah.
so you can have on your own. On the weekend, I brew a nice big pot of tea from that. She's got one called New England Blend that is, I love that.
Ah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
But,
she actually blends teas.
Yeah, she does. She blends them by hand, and
Yeah.
they're very, very good. But there's wonderful little stores at Little Man. I mean, Little Man is
Oh.
unbelievable. She makes things for the White House
I know, imagine that. Yeah,
right here in Northbridge.
yeah.
We live in a great place, you know. When people say, "Oh, you know, we don't appreciate what's in our own backyard," oh,
We
there's
don't think
nothing to
about
do
it.
here. We don't have
Yeah.
anything here. Oh my gosh! Or as my dad would say, "Oh, Maron."
We travel miles
Yeah,
to see
and
something
it's right in
that
our
we
own
have right
backyard.
here. Yeah.
Riverbend Farm's been beautiful to go walking too. This
Yeah.
time of year, it's
And
perfect.
we're starting to get the colors now.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Next
The
month's gonna
nice
be
weather.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. And then this weekend, I know we're running out of time, but this weekend there's the church on the common. The church is having their
The
bazaar.
Congregational Church.
Yeah,
They're having a bazaar
their
right on
bazaar
the town
right
common.
on the common. Make sure you don't miss that. I know I'm going to be in Upton at they've got their homecoming fest, but I'm going to be at the small business expo that they're holding in the church basement. So pop out and see me out there, and there's a lot going on.
I don't know how you do it.
Sleep is
I think
overrated.
I'm busy. Believe me, I'm like doing nothing compared to what she does.
Oh, no, Harry runs around all the time too. You see Harry out and about the valley. Yeah.
Well, we got to run, but
Yeah.
we're gonna have to say to everybody, have a valley good day.
Right.
And we'll see you next week on About the Valley.
Yeah.